can write that book, that would be amazing. So in this journey of yours, has there been people that have influenced you, that have inspired you, that you look up to, and maybe tell us about one or two of those people and why they inspire you.
So my biggest inspiration to start my entrepreneurial journey was my husband. He
Okay.
was constantly pushing me, saying, you always wanted to do this. Start, just
Mm,
start.
mm.
And then he's the one who kind of really pushed me into it, because I think it's always been mulling in my head. But then from the time where he said, okay, now just do it, we kind of launched the business in a couple of months. It was
Okay.
so I think that was my biggest influence and inspiration to start. And then my co-founder, I don't know what I would do without her. I think she's the one that keeps me sane through this entire process.
Mm,
We have very different personalities and very different ideas, so that's what kind of keeps the balance. Um,
mm-hmm.
so I think those are the two biggest people in terms of. I mean, if you're talking about you know people like public profile people, there's been so many. I mean, you read all the stories. I think the very first book about business that I read was Losing My Virginity, Richard Branson, and
Okay.
way back in the day. And then, so since then, every story you read, and I've always been interested in reading the stories of these of founders and CEOs, and see how they've navigated their lives. And so
Yeah.
each one you read, you kind of take away like one small thing, or like one thing that kind of relates to you, or that you can use, right?
Right.
So it's kind of hard to say, there's not one particular person. There's maybe little bits and parts of each person's story. But personally, these are the two main people who've
Mm,
been like
okay. Yeah.
influential.
If I think it'd be very, very hard if the people in your immediate environment were not supportive of your journey, because it's hard, and it's not always certain that you're going to succeed. And yeah, so that is super important, that your significant other is there with you. And
For
I'm
sure.
very fortunate in that sense as well. My wife is fully behind what I do, so that's yeah, that's a big win. It's a big win
I think
right
it's
out the
paramount.
gates.
I think it's impossible otherwise.